Today I'm going to share with you the one thing that can make or break a relationship. But let's first talk about some of the things that no one tells us about relationships. The first thing that no one tells us is that relationships are challenging and complex.
I am just sick and tired of always having to be the designated driver of this marriage.
Nobody designated you as anything. It's a role you gave yourself.
Not for 1 second have you seen it through my eyes.
The other things that no one tells us is that you will experience degrees of hurt and suffering and loneliness and disconnection. And I know all that sounds terribly discouraging, but it's so important to know that that's normal. And no one tells us that we need to learn how to stay in love, especially after we've been hurt by the person that we love. However, if you have built a strong foundation together, which most people have, it will carry you through the more challenging times.
Oh my God,
Yes, baby.
the tooth fairy.
Where?
Josh's tooth, we forgot to put money under his pillow.
Honey, Josh is asleep. I'm sure this can wait a few more minutes.
And the positive thing that no one tells us about relationships is that it is an opportunity for you to learn more about you.
Tonight I saw myself through your eyes. And I'm sorry.
I like to think of relationships as a commitment to choosing personal growth. Now, believe me, regarding personal growth in marriage, I've had times where I've wished the personal growth could come to an end. And sometimes living alone can sound inviting, especially when you feel trapped in your marriage, which is another thing that no one tells you that you will feel when you are disconnected from each other and feeling lonely. So those are all the things that no one tells us. But if someone were to ask me the most crucial thing that no one ever told me about relationships, it would be this. The single most important factor that can make or break a relationship is knowing or not knowing how to navigate conflict. This is what brings couples into therapy all the time. They don't know how to work things out because they don't know how to engage in conflict in a way that moves their relationship forward. Conflict is inevitable in every relationship, and not only inevitable but necessary. But how you handle it will determine the strength and the depth of your connection with each other. Imagine a couple arguing not to hurt each other but to understand and grow together.
I don't know. I guess I got lazy. I got boring is what I got.
No.
And I'm so mad at you. I'm really mad at you for what you did. But I'm mad at myself too.
That is the essence of healthy conflict, and it is a skill that can transform relationships. So healthy conflict has many components, which is why it is so hard to navigate. First and most important is you need to be self-aware. I say this all the time. Self-awareness means understanding your own emotions and reactions, recognizing when you're being defensive or when your past is influencing your present, and I'll say more about that in a minute. You also need to have a strong inner sense of self. This inner strength allows you to be open to feedback, which is not always easy, especially when it's difficult to hear things about yourself. But it's about acknowledging that you have areas to work on and being willing to grow.
There's not one person that I know that you trust enough to let close enough that they could hurt you. And her big problem is that you really liked her. I mean, she is the one girl you really liked. And no matter what she did and how hard she tried, you were never going to let your guard down. That poor girl never stood a chance.
And then there are the deeper layers, like knowing your triggers from childhood. These are unresolved issues and patterns that will resurface in your adult relationships.
Girl's like, beautiful. She's smart. She's fun. It's different from most of the girls I've been with.
So call her up, Romeo.
Why? So I can realize she's not that smart, that she's boring. This girl's like perfect right now. I don't want to ruin that.
Maybe you're perfect right now. Maybe you don't want to ruin that. But I think that's...
Come to California with me.
Be in California next week, and, you know, you might find out something about me you don't like, and, you know, maybe you wish you hadn't said that, but, you know, it's such a serious thing that you can't take it back, and now I'm stuck in California. Someone doesn't really want to be with me, just wish they had a take back.
Triggers in the present from the past are wounds that you've experienced growing up that appear in the present. I've done many videos about triggers in relationships. Check this one out. I honestly think it's triggers that make or break conflict. Sometimes you're being triggered at the same time and you don't even realize that you're arguing from a place of past hurt in your current argument. So when you learn how to navigate conflict, that's what will help you have a stronger, more connected relationship. And by the way, I did a video about the 5 communication breakthroughs that will help you navigate communication a bit easier. Check that out. So thank you so much for watching. I do hope that you found this video helpful. And if you subscribe, I truly appreciate your support, and I hope that my content supports you in return.